Everything is about to explode. Episode 5 isn't just another chapter, it feels like the moment where every secret, every lie, and every bad choice finally catches up to everyone in Chicago. You can sense it coming, that shift where alliances break, trust disappears, and the real war begins. And if Episode 4 showed us cracks, Episode 5 is going to tear the whole city open. Episode 4 left us in a place where every character is standing on a thin line. And one wrong move could cost them everything. Tommy is caught in the middle of enemies on all sides, trying to keep his empire moving while the city becomes more dangerous by the day. His deals are getting messier, his trust list is shrinking, and every decision he makes seems to spark a new problem. You can feel the pressure he's under. Like every step forward pushes him 2 steps closer to something explosive. At the same time, Jenard is spiraling faster than ever. His back is against the wall, his crew is slipping away, and every move he makes feels like he's trying to prove something he no longer controls. You can see the panic in the way he talks, the way he reacts to keep control even when he's losing it. He's desperate, and desperate men in this universe always make the most dangerous decisions. Episode 5 is shaping up to be the point where his fear finally pushes him into a mistake he can't walk back from. Then there's Diamond, trying to hold the CBI together while managing secrets that are slowly beginning to leak through the cracks. His choices are getting harder to defend, and people around him are starting to notice the shift in his behavior. The calm, steady Diamond we're used to is being replaced by someone trying to survive the storm he helped create. With the Chelsea situation heating up, Diamond is walking into a fire that might burn everything he's built. Episode 4 showed us the warning signs. Episode 5 is where those signs become impossible to ignore. Miguel, on the other hand, is reaching a boiling point. The man is tired of waiting, tired of threats, and tired of feeling played. Every episode shows him getting closer to snapping, and Episode 4 made it clear that he's done being patient. His anger isn't just aimed at Tommy, it's aimed at anyone who stands in his way. And when Miguel reaches his limit, people get hurt. That's the rule. Episode 5 feels like the moment he stops talking and starts taking action. And above all this chaos, Blanca and the feds are tightening the net. Every move Tommy makes is watched. Every deal, every mistake, every body that drops Blanca is getting closer to the one thing she's obsessed with, bringing Tommy down. Episode 4 showed the feds getting more aggressive, and Episode 5 is the perfect moment for them to push even harder. This isn't just about catching criminals anymore. It's personal. All of these pieces are moving at the same time, creating a pressure cooker that's ready to blow. Episode 4 wasn't just setting up drama, it was placing every character in a position where something has to break. Now, Episode 5 looks like the turning point where the season flips, and nothing stays the same afterward. The tension is too high, the secrets are too deep, and the consequences are too big for anyone to escape clean. The energy going into Episode 5 feels like the moment everything changes for good. Episode 5 feels like the moment where every character's world starts closing in, and there's no space left to breathe. The tension has been building from the first episode of the season, but now it feels different, sharper, heavier, more dangerous. Everyone is being pushed from all sides, and the pressure is forcing them to show their real intentions. This is the point in power where people either rise, fall, or get erased completely, and Episode 5 looks like that exact moment. For Tommy, the city has never been louder. Every direction he turns, there's a new threat waiting to test him. The alliances he created are no longer solid. They're shaky, unpredictable, and full of hidden motives. Even the people he trusts most are starting to question whether being close to him is worth the risk. Tommy's life has always been built on chaos, but this time the chaos is swallowing everything at once. Episode 5 feels like the moment where he realizes he can't run his empire the same way anymore. The streets are changing, and if he doesn't change with them, he could lose it all in a single move. The pressure isn't only coming from the streets, it's coming from the feds too. Blanca's presence is heavier than ever, and the way she's hunting Tommy feels like a storm following his every step. She's not guessing anymore. She's connecting dots, pulling strings, and getting closer to the truth with every episode. Episode 5 might be the moment where she finally makes a real move, something that forces Tommy to step back and rethink how exposed he is. When the feds get this close, someone always gets sacrificed. And the question becomes, who is Tommy willing to throw to the wolves to save himself? Inside CBI, the pressure is reaching a breaking point. Diamond is trying to keep everything calm, but calm doesn't exist when secrets are eating away at the foundation. People are starting to whisper, starting to notice the cracks in his leadership. He's holding on, but you can see the struggle in every decision he makes. His personal problems, the guilt he's carrying, the hidden deals, all of it is fighting its way to the surface. Episode 5 could be the moment where Diamond has to face a truth he's been avoiding. You can't be a leader and a liar at the same time. Not in this world. Yana RD, on the other hand, is drowning in his own decisions. Every time he tries to fix one problem, it creates two more. His loyalty is fading. His people don't trust him, and he's losing control of the very empire he thought he deserved. The pressure he's under is turning into panic, and panic always leads to deadly mistakes. Episode 5 feels like the point where Jenard's world starts cracking open for real. Where the fear inside him becomes stronger than the power he's trying to hold. In power, someone falling apart from the inside is often the most dangerous force in the room. And Jenard is reaching that breaking point. Meanwhile, Miguel is moving like a man who's been pushed too far for too long. His anger is building, his patience is gone, and he's ready to strike before anyone else can hurt him. Miguel doesn't wait for threats to come to him, he attacks them first. And with the way episode 4 ended, episode 5 is the perfect moment for him to show just how violent he can be when he stops pretending to play the game. His pressure doesn't make him crumble, it makes him explode. And when Miguel explodes, whole blocks go silent. All of these forces, Blanca, Diamond, Jenard, Miguel, they're all moving toward the same point, even if they don't realize it yet. Episode 5 is shaping up to be the moment where every storyline slams into each other, turning pressure into chaos. The theme of this episode isn't peace, trust, or balance. It's collision. And once the collision happens, nothing in the season will look the same again. Tommy has always been a character who steps forward when everyone else steps back. But the energy around him going into episode 5 feels different, colder, sharper, and way more dangerous. He's not just reacting to the chaos anymore. He's thinking about how to control it. Tommy knows that the only way to survive in Chicago is by making a move so bold that it forces everyone else to fall in line. Episode 5 feels like the perfect moment for him to do something that changes the balance of power in one strike. And when Tommy decides to act, he doesn't act small, he goes straight for the nerve of the problem. Right now, every part of Tommy's life is pulling him in a different direction. The drug game is shifting, the alliances are cracking, and the enemies are stacking up faster than he can deal with them. Tommy hates feeling boxed in. And episode 4 already showed him losing patience with the games people around him are playing. That frustration is building into something dangerous. He's realizing that if he keeps trying to manage every problem, he's going to get swallowed. Episode 5 seems like the moment where he chooses a different approach, not managing the problems, but eliminating them. And the craziest part is that Tommy doesn't always go after the loudest threat. He goes after the smartest one, the threat that people underestimate. That's why episode 5 feels like the episode where he targets someone the audience might not expect. He's watching people carefully, judging who's loyal and who's waiting for a chance to turn on him. One wrong look, one suspicious conversation, one land, Tommy will cut them off before they even realize what's happening. He's ruthless, but his ruthlessness is always precise. Episode 5 could be the moment where he makes a move that looks brutal on the outside, but is actually a calculated step to protect his empire. There's also the pressure from Miguel hovering over everything. Tommy knows he can't let Miguel be the one to hit first. That would put him in a defensive position, and Tommy never plays defense. He knows Miguel is angry, unpredictable, and emotionally charged, and that makes him a threat that can't be ignored. Episode 5 feels like the perfect point for Tommy to strike at Miguel's power, but in a way that hurts him without starting a full war he's not ready for. Tommy might not go straight for Miguel himself, but he could take out someone close to Miguel, someone who keeps his operation standing. That kind of move would shake Miguel's whole foundation and send a message, without burning the entire city down in one night. Inside CBI, Tommy's ruthlessness could go in a completely different direction. He's watching Diamond and Jenard tear each other apart, and he knows that their conflict is creating cracks he can use. Tommy has always been good at stepping into other people's chaos and turning it into an advantage. Episode 5 might be the moment where he pushes someone inside CBI into making a choice that benefits him. And if it means cutting ties, betraying someone, or letting a rival fall to me, won't blink. He'll do whatever protects his position. But the real reason Episode 5 feels like Tommy's breaking point is the emotional pressure. Tommy tries to hide it, but every season shows that when he feels cornered, he becomes more dangerous than his enemies expect. The losses, the betrayals, the constant pressure, it's all getting to him. Tommy doesn't break down, he breaks out, and he breaks through. He uses the pain as fuel. Episode 5 feels like the moment where that emotional weight turns into an aggressive move that changes the entire season. This is the Tommy that built his name in New York? The Tommy who doesn't wait for anyone to save him. The Tommy who doesn't let fear guide him, he forces fear into everyone else. Episode 5 is shaping up to give us that version of Tommy again, the version that reminds Chicago why you don't play games with a man who has nothing to lose. Every sign points to a ruthless decision, a betrayal, a strike, a sacrifice, or a power grab that Tommy believes will secure his future. But the thing about Tommy's moves is simple: they always cost someone something. And episode 5 might be the moment where that cost becomes deadly. Jenard's world has been cracking since the start of the season, but now, going into episode 5, those small cracks are turning into full-blown fractures that he can't hide anymore. He built his entire identity on being the one who could outthink everyone. The one who could take CBI from Diamond and reshape it in his own image. But the truth is finally rising to the surface. Jenard has lost control, and the fall is coming faster than he ever expected. Episode 5 feels like the moment where the downfall doesn't just show, it hits him in the face. What makes Jenard's situation so unique is the quiet way it has been breaking apart. He isn't losing power because someone stronger took it from him. He isn't falling because Tommy made a move or because Diamond won. He's falling because he built everything on fear, mistrust, and desperate choices. His own people don't respect him, and respect is the one currency you can't fake in this world. When a leader starts to lose the room, it's never loud at first, it's silent. People stop listening. People stop showing up. People start making decisions without him. And by episode 4, that silence around Jenard has become so loud that it's impossible to ignore. The real tragedy in Jenard's story is how much he's trying to hold on to. Something that has already slipped through his fingers. He keeps pushing harder, talking louder, threatening more aggressively, but all of it shows how scared he truly is. The more pressure he feels, the worse his decisions become. He's reacting instead of planning, guessing instead of thinking. And his paranoia is turning into a poison that spreads through every choice he makes. Episode 5 looks like the moment where his paranoia finally catches up to him and forces him into a move that destroys the little stability he has left. On another major weight-crushing Jenard is the fact that he burned too many bridges too quickly. He cut people off, pushed his allies away, and demanded loyalty while giving none in return. Now, in episode 5, those abandoned allies and silent enemies are watching him struggle, and none of them are stepping in to help. In the Power universe, when you fall alone, because the people you mistreated remember every detail. Episode 5 might show Jenard facing a betrayal that has been waiting for the perfect moment to strike. And the perfect moment is when someone is already weak. There's also the pressure coming from Diamond. Even if Diamond isn't trying to hurt him, Jenard sees every move Diamond makes as a threat, even when the threat isn't real. He's stuck in this mindset where he thinks Diamond is plotting against him. Even though Diamond has his own problems to deal with, that paranoia could push Jenard into attacking someone who was never planning to attack him. Episode 5 might be the episode where Jenard creates his own enemy simply because he convinced himself that one existed, and that's the kind of mistake you don't come back from. On top of all that, the streets are not the same as when Jenard first stepped into leadership. The game is changing, the alliances are shifting, and the chaos in Chicago is bigger than anything he can manage. There are too many players, too many dangers, and too many eyes watching. The more the city spins out of control, the more obvious it becomes that Jenard is not built for this moment. He's trying to play a game that requires calm, strategy, and patience, 3 things he doesn't have anymore. Episode 5 feels like the point where one bad move triggers the beginning of the end for Jenard. It might be a deal gone wrong, a person turning on him, or a moment where he lashes out at the wrong target. Whatever it is, the fallout is going to be loud. And once the fall begins, it won't stop. The Power universe has a long history of characters who hit the point of no return, and Jenard looks like he's heading straight toward it. The saddest part, Jenard doesn't even realize how close he is to losing everything. He thinks he still has time. He thinks he still has options. He thinks he can still bounce back. But episode 5 is coming, and it feels like the moment where the truth finally hits him. The downfall isn't starting. It already started, and now it's about to swallow him whole.